Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves recently, a warning from the Singapore Food Agency, SFA, about 3 food products containing medicinal substances that shouldn't be there. Now, this isn't just a minor issue, it's a serious health concern that raises a lot of questions about what we are putting into our bodies. So, let's break it down and talk about why this matters, what it implies, and what we can learn from it. First off, the hook here is pretty shocking. Honey, a botanical beverage mix, and a juice, all seemingly harmless, have been found to contain substances like Tadalafil, Sennosides, and Dexamethasone. Personally, I think this is a wake-up call for all of us. We often assume that food products, especially those marketed as natural or health-focused, are safe. But this situation highlights a bigger issue: the lack of transparency and regulation in the food industry. What makes this really interesting is how these substances ended up in these products in the first place. Was it intentional, or was it a result of contamination? Either way, it's a red flag. Let's start with B-solution honey, liquid, from Malaysia. This product was found to contain Tadalafil, a prescription medicine used to treat erectile dysfunction. Now, in my opinion, this is where things get really concerning. Tadalafil isn't something you just stumble upon. It's a potent drug that should only be taken under medical supervision. What many people don't realize is that Tadalafil can have serious side effects, including heart attack, stroke, and priapism, a condition that's as painful as it sounds. If you take a step back and think about it, someone consuming this honey might not even know they're ingesting a medication, let alone one that could interact dangerously with other drugs they're taking. This raises a deeper question: how did this happen, and how widespread is this issue? Next up is Shaio-Ge Xian Li 365 S1 Botanical Beverage Mixed Barley Seedling Powder from Taiwan, which contains Sennosides, a laxative. Now, while Sennosides are commonly used to treat constipation, they're not something you want in your daily beverage without knowing it. A detail I find fascinating is that prolonged use of Sennosides can lead to a lazy bowel, where your intestines become dependent on the laxative to function. What this really suggests is that even substances we think of as benign can have long-term consequences if misused. It's not just about the immediate side effects like abdominal pain or diarrhea, it's about the potential for chronic health issues down the line. Lastly, we have Jus Tuan Haji 1921 from Malaysia, which contains dexamethasone, a steroid used to treat inflammatory conditions. From my perspective, this is the most alarming of the 3. Dexamethasone is a powerful drug with a long list of side effects, including blurred vision, excessive hair growth, and even psychosis in cases of overdose. What makes this really interesting is that steroids like dexamethasone are often used in medical settings to treat serious conditions, but they're not something you want in your juice. This raises a deeper question: are manufacturers cutting corners by adding these substances to enhance their products' perceived benefits? Or is it a case of contamination? Either way, it's a serious breach of trust. Now, let's zoom out for a moment. What this situation really highlights is the importance of regulatory oversight and consumer awareness. Personally, I think we need to be more vigilant about where our food comes from and what's in it. The SFA's warning is a step in the right direction, but it's also a reminder that we can't rely solely on regulators to keep us safe. We need to educate ourselves, ask questions, and make informed choices. One thing that immediately stands out is how easily these products could have slipped through the cracks if not for the SFA's intervention. It's a sobering thought. In closing, this isn't just about 3 tainted products, it's about a systemic issue that affects us all. What this really suggests is that we need to rethink how we approach food safety and transparency. From my perspective, this is a call to action for both consumers and regulators. We need to demand higher standards, and we need to hold manufacturers accountable. So, the next time you pick up a product, especially one marketed as natural or health-focused, take a moment to think about what's really inside. Because, as this situation shows, It might be more than you bargained for. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.